Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Provision is not money. Provision is infrastructure. If a man has the ability, the mind, the mental sharpness, and the fortitude to come into your life and provide real infrastructure, then he is a provider. There are seasons in a person's life where they 50 might not look like half the bills, but if he shows up in other ways to supplement and make it make sense, you gotta understand that.
Y'all doing too much. This hypothetical question about this bear versus man in the forest is about to get a lot of y'all feelings hurt.
Yup.
Some of y'all women, you doing too much. You are the bear in the forest. You need to be scared of yourself.
Yup.
At the end of the day, a lot of y'all are running around acting like you so scared of men, acting as if you fear for your life on a day-to-day basis. Girl, men don't even pay you no mind on a day-to-day basis.
Oh,
you go to the mall, they ignore you. You go to the store, they ignore you. You go to the club and the lounges with your homegirls and they talk to everybody but you.
My question is, we know the old one when we were in school was an A was 90 to 100, a B was 80 to 90, a C was 70 to 80, a D was 60 to 69, and an F was 59 and below. So is this new scale wrong, or was the old one wrong? Because why was an F 59 points and everything else was only 10?
There is a new gender identity. Here we go.
Did you know, however, there is a gender identity that is linked to the seasons? This is called gender season. And this is a gender identity I've only just learned about. It's
Seasonal gender identity.
Why we not talk? Well, let's talk about it. We live. We live. Yeah.
That's the show, Dada.
The last 7 days have been totally insane, but we made it. Now buckle up and get ready for the most organic conversation on the internet with your hosts, The Force, The King, The Kamikaze, The Great and Terrible. Up to it, down to it. Pour a glass and talk some trash. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a good time tonight right along with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Let's go up to it.
Shaking up that red drink over there. You shaking up that red drink over there. Y'all, if you know what that red drink is, you know what tonight.
If you know
what that red drink is,
what we talking about?
If you know what that drink is, let us know in the comments first of all, and really you know what time it is. You know what's about to go down. So let's get right to it. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Assuming we can still call you that. Welcome back to the most organic conversation on the internet. Up to it, down to it, with your Friday Night Delights. We out here in these streets, man, having a good time. Get ready, everybody. Pour a glass, talk some trash. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Let's go up to it, baby. Get ready to have us a good time, man. It's been a long week. Like the random voice said, it's been a hell of a week. A lot of stuff going on. Totally insane, if you ask me. We're gonna try to bring some excitement to your weekend. So without further ado, let's get down to another intro with my man right there on the left, up top right there. He's up to it. You see what I did there? You know what time it is, man. The immovable force. He got that red drink in his hand. Talk to us, brother. How you feeling?
let's talk about the red drink. But first, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Cheers to the weekend, man. This has been one for the books. But we're grateful to be here. I want to first shout out my students who participated in the Maryland State Choral Assessments on yesterday and received a rating of grade 2, which is excellent. And I could not be more proud of them for the effort that they put in to represent the county well, represent me well, represent themselves well. So shout out to my students, who I affectionately call my babies because they are like my children as well. So we'll start there. Now for the adult stuff. Listen, this is finally, I don't know if Famulate gets better with time, but we finna find out tonight. And I've been sipping on this slow. I ain't gonna tell y'all how long this has been sitting in the refrigerator because y'all might judge me, but judge your mother, don't judge me. All right. This is Famulate made by the Charter. Shout out to Baloo. And it's why we have to sip slow because a few sips of this and I'll be upside down emoji face. Okay. So that's what we on tonight. And listen, whether I'm sipping it or taking shots of it, it's all of that rolled into one. So it's gonna be real potent, as is this entire show. So y'all strap in them seatbelts and let's get ready to go. And as always, as long as you're not drinking Aquafina, we're not judging you. Okay. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. Tell a friend to tell a friend here now because it's about to get wild. Let's have ourselves a hell of a show.
It's about to go down basement, like the kids be saying. I think maybe the older kids now. I don't know. I don't follow stuff. Whatever.
Type. right now it's type.
Type.
Which is
TYPE? TYPE?
Yeah, TYPE, which is short for type shit. That's affirmative, agreed. That's an agreement. Yeah.
So
I teach high school.
So theoretically, you would say something that people in the classroom would agree with, and they would just be like type,
right?
And that means like that's like word.
Word. I feel you. Affirmative.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Learn something new every day. Shout out to the high school teachers that learned this nonsensical lingo that we also spoke when we were kids. You know what it is, man? Look.
I can't have them talking.
My bad. Go ahead. Say again.
I said I can't have them talking in secret around me.
Nah, that's real. Especially the way kids is nowadays, man. You definitely don't want them talking in code around you. That's real.
For sure.
That is real. Well, ladies and gentlemen, assuming nothing's changed in the last few minutes, and we can still call you that, right. We got some stuff to bring to y'all tonight. Season finale, we're going to take us a little bit of time to, reset and, retool, get ourselves together, get with our families, get with our kids, all those kinds of things, right in the midst of this season. So I am excited to close out this season, and I want to thank all of you for joining us and being along on this ride with us. As we say every week, y'all are the best part of everything that we do here, right? So definitely appreciate all of y'all. Line it up in the comments. Let us know what's going on. All right. Okay. We did a little something last week. Actually, you know what? Before we even get to that, because I see it down there on the screen, we do put our money where our mouth is, right? We were just talking about that earlier. Many. Okay.
I got it.
There we go. You got it?
It's on the way.
All right, there we go. Cool. Bet that. Perfect. There we go. We absolutely, we talk about, a lot of things, differences between men and women, and we're going to talk about those tonight too. A lot of things regarding dating and marriage, and we're going to talk a little bit about that too. And often we talk about the NBA and the WNBA. And tonight, in this case, really is no exception, right? We're gonna talk a little bit about that too. But we absolutely put our money where our mouth is because also, watching live, I can't keep this up for too long. I don't want no trouble. YouTube will try to ban me, right? They're gonna cancel us again. Y'all remember that episode?
It has happened.
I don't want to get canceled again. But here we go. We got the WNBA, the Indiana Fever here against the Dallas Wings, and the Fever has been playing pretty good. Caitlin Clark's preseason debut, pretty decent, I think. Considering rookie, she's coming in as a rookie straight out of college. I think her debut's been pretty decent. What you think about the game so far, Caleb?
It's definitely been interesting. The first half was very close. So I see now Indiana's broken it open a little bit. So everybody's just kind of shaking off them cobwebs, and I just been excited about the hype around Caitlin Clark, but not just Caitlin Clark, but this entire class of very, very, very talented young women. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of the debuts. Paige Beckers is one that I have my eye on a lot. Of course, we were talking earlier about Angel Reese up in Chicago. So that'll be wonderful. But, even for all the rookies, my eyes will still be on the Las Vegas Aces for the 3P. They'll be, the first ones to do it if they do it since the Houston Comets, way back for the WNBA's inception. So this is an exciting time to get into women's basketball. This is actually basically the WNBA's League Pass, which is free right now. So, y'all ain't got no excuse. Go to the WNBA's website, download the League Pass, watch it for free. And then when they tell you to pay to watch it, pay the $25, $30, whatever it is, and support them. The women's game can't grow without financial support. So put your money where your mouth is.
Snapple facts. This means you, ladies, because, the fellas, as you can see, the fellas are watching the game. Just saying. All right, we don't want no trouble. Let's get that off. So
please don't cancel us. We're trying to show love. And y'all giving it away for free right now anyway. So please don't cancel.
Right. But go get the League Pass, WNBA League Pass, man. Go get that done. Support the league, man. Support the leagues. All right, now there's a few things coming up here that I'm not sure if we want. we actually want to be supporting, to be totally honest. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure you've heard about some of the protests going on nationwide at different college campuses. You heard a little bit about that?
Yeah. In different spaces and places. I know some Morgan students actually went, if not yesterday, today, to do some peaceful protests of their own, to make their voices heard, and all of that. But I know it's not just HBCU campuses. I know there was a bit of backlash. I want to say it was at Morehouse, where the president was choosing to bring Joe Biden in to speak. And they were asking, why are they bringing them in when they've been providing money for what is taking place with Palestine? So people are, making their voices known, making it heard. I will say I'm not as well versed in everything that's going on as I could be or should be. But I'm all for people expressing themselves as long as it remains peaceful, which all of this has not. I've seen some destroyed college campuses, with left behind trash and torn up like mementos and things like that. And of course, while I realize violence has gotten us a lot of places, it's in a case like this, I don't think that it's helpful for getting the message across that people are looking to spread. So I've seen a little, but I don't know as much as I could or should.
Yeah. No, and that's fair. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but yeah, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane that the protests that are, in my opinion, that are happening in the first place, for real. But hey, look, again, I'm all for making your voice heard. Whether you're right or wrong, I'm all for making your voice heard. If again, as long as you're peaceful, as exactly as you said, and it hasn't been. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them catch you with the banana in the tailpipe, right? It ain't been like that.
No Diddy, right?
No Diddy, and maybe all Diddy in their case. I don't know. But hey, so yeah, lot of that kind of stuff going on. Again, just I say be safe. And again, in my opinion, probably shouldn't be anyway. But I encourage. What I will say is I encourage people to go find out the history. A lot of people are demanding a ceasefire, and the truth is there was a ceasefire before October 7th. Look at the history of a lot of things that has been added and talked about, and then make your decision. One side or the other. Just look at both sides. Is all I'm gonna say. All right. But yeah, we got wild stuff like that happening. Fortunately, as far as I know, no casualties or anything like that. Unfortunately, we had some casualties, I believe, in North Carolina with 4 cops, I believe. They went to serve a warrant, and it didn't turn out so good. That somehow probably drop a video or two about in the off season randomly. So keep an eye on it. All right. But yeah, so there's that, and then also something else has been kind of going around and around the airwaves of the media is some schools, right? It looks like in California, they're proposing some changes to the grading scale. Have you heard about that? You being a teacher, have you heard about that?
Well, not California specifically, but I mean, even here in Maryland, there have been, or I'll at least specifically say in my county, there have been enormous changes in the last 2 years to grading systems where everything used to be universal, no matter the subject. Test grades were this percentage, classwork grades were this percentage, homework was this percentage, participation was this percentage. Now, the scale is basically sliding. So depending on what area of focus the class is, that determines what the percentages are. So, in core classes, the assessments weigh more. In electives, the classwork weighs more, and that even varies based on the elective. So I know that there are a lot of changes taking place. We even have what we call a good faith effort policy. So let's say, you go to take a math quiz. It has 10 questions. You complete all 10 questions, you show your work, but you didn't get any of the answers correct. You can't get less than a 50. Because that's good faith effort, according to the county. Which, so I'll say I don't agree with it, but to some slight degree I understand, because and I think about math a lot, because of course, like, if you have a problem where you got to show your steps to figure out how you got to the answer of the problem, if the teacher can see, oh, there was this one part where you didn't carry your one, and I can see how you got that wrong answer, like, I can understand the credit that goes towards that. But if it's a multiple choice test and you answer every question, but you just put C all the way through it, like, you did what you were supposed to. You answered every question, but there's no like rhyme or reason to that. That's not worth the good faith effort. So like, it's kind of taking something that's intended to help those who truly need it and bastardizing it. So like, that part bothers me a lot.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, you're guaranteed at least a 50. What incentive is there for you to really know, enough of the core material? Like, you're going to get 50%, half the answers, quote unquote, half the answers right, just on, effort, like showing up. Like, imagine if the SAT, like, showing up and writing your name and your date of birth was worth 1,000 points, 1,000 points on the 1,600 scale,
Right.
800 points on the 1,600 scale, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's bad enough it's worth what, 200 or 300.
Yeah, I know it was 300 for us when we were taking it, which
yeah, I want to say
in hindsight, that is insane. Hey, we're going to reward you for writing your name correct.
Right. What are we talking about, bro? Lowered expectations.
Kindergarten is what we're talking about.
Yeah. And so, ladies and gentlemen, some people, in particularly in California, have proposed, it seems, a grading scale that looks a little bit like this. Let's take a look real fast.
A lot of people tripping about this public school grading scale in this particular district, right? So my question is, we know the old one when we were in school was an A was 90 to 100, a B was 80 to 90, a C was 70 to 80, a D was 60 to 69, and an F was 59 and below. So is this new scale wrong, or was the old one wrong? Because why was an F 59 points and everything else was only 10 points? I've been saying.
Why was the F 59 points and everything else only 10 points?
Because you shouldn't be getting 59 points.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to say that if you don't know at least 2/3 of the material, you probably shouldn't be passed.
You definitely deserve to fail if you don't know 2/3 of the material. Like that's, and it's
which, for the record, everybody, that's a D plus. That's a 67% basically, right? It's a D plus.
Yeah, and so you still got some grace to be, wrong. So 3/5. If you don't know 3/5 of the material, you deserve to fail.
Literally 3/5 of the material. You don't need to be at least those 3/5.
Which, if that made your head hurt to hear the fraction, then yeah, you probably deserve to fail.
Do y'all see this?
That
a 65, 64 would be a B. That'd be a B.
A 65 is above average. Maybe a 65 ain't even the sexiest temperature. Like what are we?
Baseball rules, LB. Hey, shout out to my LB, man. Shout out to all my LBs, man. Spring 04 hit our 20-year anniversary a couple days ago. Oh, man, love y'all. All right, anyway. Yeah, baseball rules, I guess, you only got to know 30% and you'll be, not just above average, you're a Hall of Famer.
But don't they only bet like maybe 3 times a game? So,
Yeah, right. Three times a game if everything's going well, like some people actually get, some hits.
Yeah.
You might get 3. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And so that by that standard, you got to get 1 hit a game, 1 hit out of every 3 tries, right? In academics, it shouldn't be like that. Like, I mean,
no, because
your efforts should be rewarded with correct answers.
Period. Full stop. But that is insane though, to call a yeah, that's
man.
to call a 64, because I like, you think about the like words that went along with those grades. Like an A was excellent, a B was above average, C was average, D was below average, and E or F, depending on where you were, was failing. So you about to tell me that 64 is above average?
There ain't no way.
So that means us as people, our average is terrible. So
it's god awful.
Yeah,
it's quite literally god awful. How do we allow that?
Tell us, Rich.
That's right. Your boy is back in the game. See, I mentioned Spring 04, 20 years in the game. That was the bat signal. That was all my man's needed. Hey, he's back. Here we go, LB. The inspirational King Rich is back in the building. What's up with you, brother?
Poof. Did somebody say Spring 04? Poof.
Poof. Ride starters.
Did somebody say hard stop? Huh? Yeah, hard stop.
I think that's how we got there. Yeah. See, we're already getting there. That's how we got there last week.
Let's go there. What's going on, everybody?
Go there.
King Rich in the building. Hope you're doing fine like Juan. I am, because I'm getting better with time. Hope you are too. Yeah. Sorry for my tardiness. I just got back from RJ's first official BMX race. My guy, his first race. And he actually, with his own, it's not called a glider. It's called a balance bike, but they have glider bikes. But with his balance bike, not a glider, his balance bike, he came in 3rd place. Shout out Boy got a trophy and everything. I'm not prepared. Otherwise, I'd have had it all loaded up to show you guys all of that. I got video. I'd had it all loaded up. But I raced back from his third place victory to be on here with you guys tonight. I see you guys are already having a good time. I'm, as you can see, mixing my little drink. I got something new here. This is the rum of the rum from Haiti. All right, this is Haitian rum. And let me tell you something. I don't know if I don't have a zoom button, but if you can see this bad boy right here. Wait, hold on. Can I get it? Too much light. Bow. Wait, you can kind of see it right there. That says 110. 110. Listen. Whew. It's going to be a good time tonight. It's going to be a good time. We're going to continue this good show. Glad I can make it. Glad you guys could make it as well. Let's continue this conversation. What we talking about, fellas?
You already know. That looks like that's going to be trouble. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a damn good time to me.
Oh, it's going to be trouble.
Well, speaking of trouble, let's go ahead and start. Let's start some trouble. Let's talk some trash real quick. I feel like getting into something else that I've seen making its way around these internets. There's been a question asked of women recently. A would you rather style question. Would you rather be in the forest with a man or with a bear? Overwhelming, I won't say overwhelmingly, but a good number of women have said with a bear. Before we get to y'all's thoughts, I want to play this take real quick because I think only one side of this kind of gets played, and sometimes, in my opinion, it's better to hear it come from the other side, not from us. So, with no further delay, what's up, bro? You look like you about to.
No, just play it.
We ready?
Oh, let's get into it.
Oh boy, because this one is interesting, man. Hold on, wait for this thing to.
Yeah, because I have questions.
Yeah,
things to consider.
Many things to consider.
So while you pulling that up, I just want to give some updates. So one, the gap has been closed in this WNBA game, so it's a 2-point game now, and Orlando has gone up by 6 in Game 6, and they're about to force a Game 7. There's just wonderful things going on right now.
Ooh. I love it, man. That's playoff everything, man. Playoff basketball is an amazing time for real. You know, all it takes is one good game, and all of a sudden you got a series. You got a Game 6 and a Game 7, man. You gotta love that. Which one are you watching again?
This is Orlando and Cleveland on the big TV. Got Indiana, Fever and Lord, who I'm drawing blanks, but their game is on the computer, so we just I'm sported out.
Shot time.
Dang, I thought it, man, that's crazy. I didn't even realize.
He was muted.
That's wild.
For those of you who don't know, every time we're muted.
We got to take a shot.
Take a shot. Buddy.
Hey. We've been good on those. We ain't had too many of those lately.
Yeah, no.
You know.
I'm gonna go ahead.
All right. Yeah. It was all because of that dumbass video. So let's get to this silly video. All right, let's talk about it. Let's see what you got to say.
Y'all Y'all doing too much. This hypothetical question about this bear versus man in the forest is about to get a lot of y'all feelings hurt.
Yup.
Some of y'all women, you doing too much. You are the bear in the forest. You need to be scared of yourself.
Yup.
At the end of the day, a lot of y'all are running around acting like you so scared of men, acting as if you fear for your life on a day-to-day basis. Girl, men don't even pay you no mind on a day-to-day basis.
Oh,
you go to the mall, they ignore you. You go to the store, they ignore you. You go to the club and the lounges with your homegirls and they talk to everybody but you. Men ain't worried about you. You could be in the forest with a bear and a man and you got a better chance of the bear wanting to smash. It's almost comical listening to a group of women who invite strangers from dating apps to their house to smash on the first day.
Yeah.
Are scared of men. I can't tell the way y'all be getting pregnant by strangers. Men who last names you don't even know. Men who mama you don't meet until the baby shower. I can't tell you scared of these men. Not the way you be out here giving out your address so freely and letting them come over there and Netflix and chill. The way you be going over their house when you don't even know them. Jeffrey Dahmer would have a field day with this generation and somehow y'all scared of men. You scared to be in a forest with a man. Be for real. Y'all are comical. Nobody even takes you serious at this point because you're a joke. Every time you get on this internet and open up your mouth, it's a contradiction and you're a
Hijo de su pinche puta madre. In Dana we trust. In Dana we trust. Oh, hail Dana. Yes. This was the best video I have seen all year, and this has made my day, my night, my week, my year. Wow, Dana. You said a mouthful of everything you needed to, and I find it so
All right. I'm gonna stop it right. I'm gonna stop it right there. Go follow her though if you want to hear her whole take. It's Tay Tay Baby. It's Tay Tay Baby. She has some good content on her page actually. Go check her out, give her a follow. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. But fellas, your reaction to what you just heard. What do y'all think, man?
We got to get you caught up, Rich. Go ahead.
Oh man, she said a mouthful. I mean, of course, it applies to some or most, not all, right? But I mean, for those that it applies for, that's exactly right. I mean, I even ran across a video of some ladies talking who were saying that they don't get approached like they used to, or they don't get the attention, or they don't get approached like they used to, or men are scared these days, or men are sensitive these days. And it's like, well, wait a minute, didn't you tell? Weren't you the same ones telling them like, don't touch me, or don't try to holler at me, or this or that, why can't you do this, or why you got to approach me, why you. So it's like you were asking for that not to happen. Now that it's not happening, now you still mad. You big mad. So I think in this video, she really is like, look at yourself. Like, look at yourself. Like, you got to get it together. Got to get it together, because especially these days, men also, aren't approaching because they know that they got options. You might have heard it before, right? They think that they're the prize and whatnot. I think that just stems from, there are men knowing that they don't. I don't want to say necessarily have to work as hard, because I mean, in a lot of cases they don't, because again, the females are doing the approaching, females are doing the more aggressive role sometimes, or the I'm not going to say dominant, but just being assertive, aggressive, and it's like, well, shoot, the logical side of a man is going to say, well, shoot, why I got the they're going to come to me, why I got to put all this effort in? Logic says I can put that energy into something else, So number one, you got to be careful what you ask for. Number two, you really got to know what you want. I've said it before. You got to know what you want. And so this chick was spot on. Like, and then the whole thing about the being in the forest with a bear or a man, like, rather being with the bear. Is that based on feeling, or emotions, right? Is that based on logic? Because come on, that doesn't even make sense.
I believe it was the great uh, philosopher. If it wasn't Ron Burgundy, it was one of his anchor men who said, I think I heard that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation. Um, and so that might be the desire. But surely a bear would maul a woman before she has a chance to tell him that he's an NAS. um
That
uh
might be why they end up with the bear in
right,
the
or
forest. Yeah.
excuse me, an ANS, not an NAS. They say NAS, but that would make him an ANS. If you know, you know. So yeah, that part is absolutely wild to me. If for what it's worth, I am a minority, as a male in like education, because there are more female teachers than there are males. And in the last 2 weeks, I've been grabbed to come into offices and rooms to kill spiders, caterpillars, centipedes, like whatever. Like, oh, there's a dead mouse in the room. How are we gonna, ooh, can you come break up a fight? Like, don't no woman really want to be in the forest with a bear? If a woman is in the forest with a bear, she gonna scream for a man to come and protect her. Let's not be dumb here. People just be saying anything out their mouths. Like, again, if our job is to protect, there is a reason for it. We are genetically designed to be stronger, than a woman to protect them. So that part is just beyond wild to me. I you know, you know.
Man.
Uh, Imagine being in a position where men have made it so safe, right? Men have made it so safe in the world that women think they're safer with a bear in the forest than they are with a man in the forest. Like think about that for a second, right? The threat of danger is so low that women who, like you said, would likely be mauled quickly should the bear decide I'm hungry now, right? Imagine being in a world that's so safe that you think a bear is safer than a man. You know, like we act like this safe world, this safe coddled world that these women who are saying these silly things exist in. We often act like there wasn't a lot of effort and a lot of bloodshed, frankly speaking, to get it as safe as it is today. We had to go through a lot of stuff and overcome a lot of things and learn a lot of behaviors, right? So while men were literally out here building the world, and it's not saying that women didn't contribute or anything like that. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is literally men are out here building, have been out here building the world that made y'all feel so safe that you think a bear in the wild is safer than a man. That's insanity.
Now, I will say, I a part of me does, because Rich was saying something about like women, wondering like why they're not approached and that kind of thing. A part of, or like not wanting to be approached, and a part of me does understand that, because, and I've seen it all too often where a group of girls or a girl is walking past a group of guys, and somebody wants to get her attention, and she, in a polite way just says, no thank you, or I have a boyfriend, or I got a man, or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden that switch flips, and now she's everything but a child of God. And they, will aggressively pursue her, and that kind of thing. So like, I know that those situations are very real, and can be very triggering and makes you uncomfortable to kind of walk what once was safe spaces. So like, I don't ignore the fact that those kinds of things happen, but I think it would be far fetched to say that a woman wouldn't feel safer with a man than she would Yogi.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you know, to add to that, you know, it's about a balance when it comes to that exchange, right? It's about a balance because I think we tend to go in today's culture, we tend to go to the extremes, right? We go to the extremes. It's like, you know, we lynch mob, or we cut it straight off, or we cancel, right? Instead of actually, you know, learning and growing from one another, or teaching, or, you know, like, what is that respect like? Is it that you don't want to be talked to, period? Or is there a standard of respect? There's a standard of how you would like to be approached. And you have to know what that standard is, and be able to verbalize that. Like, you say, hey, prime example. Let me give you personal example. Here's a personal example, right? Full transparency. And I think I said this in the first season. My wife, when we were friends talking, right? And I had asked her out on a date. She quickly told me her standard of how to ask her out on a date. Like, what is the standard that she requires? Because, you know, we transitioned into this word of texting, and we were texting back and forth, you know, should we talking that way? You know, rarely would we get on the phone, but she was like, whoa, this is how you ask me. She told me what her standard was for asking her on a date. And then I said, oh, well, let me call you up and formally ask you on a date. And so I think the communication is the part that's missing. The standards is the part that's missing. The standards is overall is the part that's missing, you know. So that standard needs to be, you know, vocalized. You need to know. You need to have a standard, first of all, right? You need to be able to communicate that, because the right guy will meet that. They will say, "Oh, okay, you're serious. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute." You know, will rise to the occasion. And yes, I rise to the occasion every time. Listen, what I'm saying is that you have to. It's the communication piece. Is putting that out there. I feel like I went off on a tangent. Bring me back. What were we talking about? Huh?
The communication piece.
Yes. Yeah. The communication piece of that all is what's most important in it. But getting back to the bear versus, you know, the man. Like, let's be honest here too. Not all men are going to be able to even last a second with a bear, but it still gives the woman a chance to, you know, skedaddle, get out of there. Just saying. Not all men is going to be like, I got you, bear, or, you know, it's shit.
Help the bear. Help the bear. Was that mystical?
Yeah. If you ever see me running the line with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Yeah, help the bear. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man, it's absurd. Like I said, I mean, listen, as she said, there's a lot of women walking around in fear, and I don't want to take anything away from anything that has happened to anybody, but there's a lot of women walking around in fear, and ain't nobody looking their way. It's a lot of women talking about that, and ain't nobody coming at you no way. Like Dana was saying, that ain't nobody looking your way no way. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You got nothing to be concerned about. So, yeah, I just think that's an absurd thought. Although I will say that I understand if you've been through some unfortunate situations with men in your past, why you may think it's better to be with a grizzly bear because at least the bear won't sexually assault me. And then they won't. They'll just maul you. They'll rip your skin off. They'll eat you, and not in the way that you like.
No, Oh,
You know, I'm
oh,
just saying. You know, So, hey. It's like, are they likely to attack? Because there have not been a lot of bears. Statistically, have not been a lot of uh, bear attacks, right? There've been bear encounters and not a whole lot of attacks statistically. So, I guess if you're strictly looking at that, but the truth of the matter is, if you out in the forest, you know, and you stuck in the forest with a bear, long term, it's not going to last long. It's only going to be a matter of time. You know, it's only a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Good old bare
So,
necessities of life.
and it is jacked up. It's sad
you know,
for
I
anybody who has had to deal with those types of situations. That absolutely sucks.
yeah.
But most of y'all, well, whatever. Anyway, go ahead, LB.
No, I was gonna say it's not the women on here
They're
watching us,
perfect.
No, it's none of y'all. It's none of you.
They're
It's none
perfect.
of you.
but bears don't really they don't even want the encounter with humans. It's really it's rare, like you said, it's rare. So it's like you got to know what to do in the situation, right? You stand your ground, make a lot of noise, and I believe that's for the is that for the black bears? Uh,
Yes.
if it's
Yeah.
a I think it's a brown bear and they have cubs and it's a mother, you're
You're
just
screwed.
SOL. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
You're
wrap.
screwed.
It's a
She's
wrap.
gonna eat you.
She's just gonna make sure you're not moving anymore.
They
Yeah.
better leave my babies alone.
You gonna say, I know somebody ain't messing with my babies. Mm-mm. Well, y'all are nuts for the whole bear thing. You guys have lost your minds with the whole school changing the grading scale thing. People have lost their mind. And if we needed further proof, further indication that people have absolutely lost it, like we've just plain old lost it, check this one out.
There is a new gender identity. Here we go.
Did you know, however, there is a gender identity that is linked to the seasons? This is called gender season. And this is a gender identity I've only just learned about. It's
Seasonal gender identity.
an individual who explores their gender identity in relation to a season or all the seasons.
So I'm only a female in spring, but not in winter.
So this might be somebody whose gender expression and identity is linked to one season, so for example, winter. Or this might be somebody whose gender identity and expression changes depending on the season.
If anything, this almost mocks gender dysphoria for people. Because real gender dysphoria does not fluctuate like this. It doesn't change based on the weather. I can't keep up. I just can't. Folks, you heard it here first.
So there it is, y'all. There it is. You heard it. People identifying as seasonal genders. Seasonal genders.
Has this
Go
been
ahead, fella.
approved by the CDC? I mean,
See,
I feel like has this been approved by who else is out there? FDA or I don't know.
the FCC, the CIA, the NBC.
I don't know.
I don't
Like
know.
they keep saying something else is coming is now here, but who's approving? Who is the approving official here? Like it just feels like a Lord. What the comments talking about? Because this summer I definitely identify as Jeff Bezos, and I run me my money.
For sure.
I need my money because I got a trip coming up, and I need my money.
But when Kenny G jumped on and started talking, I just knew this was going to be a joke, and it's not. I don't want no woman, no man with a pressing curl, and the voice of Elmo. Just there's so many things wrong here. There are so many things wrong, and we're just like we're not. pointing to mental illness, because this is that. Like I have a 5-year-old, and when it's cold, he is Spider-Man, and when it's warm, he is PJ Masks, and when it's in between, he is Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town. And this all happens within 15 minutes, and that's what it feels like I'm listening to. So today you are a man, and then tomorrow, well, not even tomorrow, like in the afternoon you are non-binary, and then in the evening you just have gender fluid on your face. I'm like I'm very like
I think technically they only change season. They only change genders by season.
it's the same thing, because
Yeah.
especially if you live in Maryland, we go through 3 seasons a day. So what you're telling me is every 8 hours there's something else. And what if that change happens while they're sleeping? Do they have dreams that shift genders too? Or this bothers me.
Yeah, it should bother anybody because the truth of the matter is, as I've been saying for the longest time, these people need help, not affirmation. Right? You affirm things that are true and that are accurate and that are good. These things are neither true nor accurate nor frankly good because they're neither true nor accurate. So that's what needs to happen. These people need help. These people need mental help. They have problems. They got issues. Something's going on in their house. Something going on in their family. Something's going on upstairs. These people need help. And we just see it every day. It was one thing when it was just, lesbians and gays and bis, right? And then, the trannies were kind of around every so often, right? And then, now we got all kind of other stuff. And then they started making up all these other things. And now there's, excuse me, now there's infinite genders, which doesn't make any sense at all. Like, guys are cosplaying as everything. And it doesn't make any sense, you know? And cosplaying is everything. People cosplaying as seasons, cosplaying as genders. You got dudes going into high school gymnasiums, high school girls gymnasiums, putting on woman face,
And
you
wearing costumes and biting people.
wearing costumes and biting people. Yeah, covered that last week. Wearing doggone animal costume. We got furries in the school. Drag queen story hour, which is a big pile of it. And every parent that takes their kids to that should be arrested for child abuse.
Yeah, there are so many things. So many things.
Every parent. That includes you if you watch this show and you take your kids to that.
But we know y'all don't do that because y'all are perfect.
We know y'all don't do that. Our people are better than that.
Shout out to y'all.
But some of the most absurd. This is literally has been some of the most nonsensical things that I've heard come out of. I mean, that was probably the most nonsensical thing I've heard on the internet. Probably, period.
Savvy, I'm sick of you.
I can't do it. All right. let's get to the main conversations. I do want to get, and I've been waiting to get Kev's take on this. Since he posted this, and he sold that to us. So there is a post that is making its way. I guess it's making its way around as well. And the premise behind it basically is that as a parent today in the year of our Lord 2024, you don't necessarily have time to spend time with your kids doing homework. Okay, so the premise of this discussion is that we don't have time to be sitting around doing homework. We need to spend more time showing them love, loving on the kids, and so on and so forth. Now, preliminarily, before I go through the whole thing that was said, fellas, do you guys, or your wives or whatever, do y'all find it hard to balance work and homework? I think he's passing it to you, Rich.
Do I find it hard to balance home and homework?
No, work and homework.
Work and homework. Do I find it hard to balance work and homework? Okay. All right. Eh, so here's the thing for me, right? Life is hard. So I mean, do I find it hard to balance work and homework? There's a balance there, yes, because as a 40-year-old man, husband with father, with kids, my homework is uh my homework is putting these other businesses together as I'm a full-time employee, husband, father, friend, and all of that other stuff that comes with it. So my homework is putting this business together. I mean, yeah, it's hard. There's a balance that needs to happen. Um, so yeah, I guess if that's what we're talking about, because I darn sure ain't going back to school. Okay, listen, I don't have a degree, and I make over six figures. Listen, I'm not going back to school. I will school myself as I've been doing, and I will continue to do so. So yeah, that's my homework.
All right, so I wasn't specifically talking about your homework, but more so like your work in the home with your kid. Go ahead, Kev, jump in.
Okay, I need to know that context. I was lost for a second. I was like, homework.
All good, no worries, no worries.
So are we like, is this open, or are we fair and fouling this?
Right now it's open. I'm gonna get to the full post in a second.
Yeah. So
like preliminary.
Much like Rich said, it is hard, and guess what? So the hell what? Like that's ultimately what it boils down to. First of all, anything that's worth it is going to come with its own set of challenges. So like if it's easy, then it's probably not worth it. And it's a conscious decision to have children. So either you didn't read any books, go to any like pre-birth classes or whatever, but like you knew this came with the territory. You knew at some point your kids were going to be in school. You knew at some point they were going to need to learn. You knew at some point they were going to have needs that had to be addressed. So like this is something you prepare yourself for, and you do it just because you have to. Because what is the alternative? Dumb children. Like that. That's it. I don't want my kid to be dumb. So it doesn't matter how hard something is. I know like what the ultimate goal is. I know the expectations and hopes that I have for my child. So it is my job to create space and time to deal with the hard things. Every day K2 has affirmations. And I ask him two questions. What are we going to do today? And his response is listen and do our best, because that's what I ask of a 5-year-old right now. If you're listening, then you're going to hear critical things that help you to do your best. And like that's that part. And then the other question I ask him is what can we do? And his response is hard things, because he gets frustrated when things get hard. But I want him to constantly remind himself that, even through the frustration and all that, you can still get the hard things done. So like I'm not, and I tell this to my students too, I will never ask something of you that I'm not willing to do myself. So it is hard to teach high school, deal with 200 plus attitudes a day, get cussed out, restrain myself, to a certain extent, because you're also not about to play in my face, but restrain myself enough so I get to keep my job, put all this energy into building a music program, and then still come home and give the time, energy, and attention that my kid needs. It's hard, but it's what we signed up for. Otherwise there was a smoothie that could have been had.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking on, we're talking on that level. I mean, once you get because once you get home from work, right, after waking up at 3 something in the morning, like I did, right, and you spend the entire day and get home at about 5:30, like I did, right, and then you get things ready, and then you go out to a BMX practice, like all of that's the homework, right? Oh, and speaking of homework, you're even having it these days. You're learning, you're learning yourself as a parent the work that your kids are doing so that you can actually help them because it's not the same math that you learned growing up. It's not the same. This is you're relearning. So it is homework that you're learning so that you can help your child through this, in my opinion, remedial at times, right? This math that they're doing, which makes no sense at times. And you're just like, this is just crazy. So it's hard. It's hard. But you do it. You like Kev said, you say so what? You know, you go ahead and you do it. You know, and then you race back home and get the family together and get yourself together and you jump on a podcast to say what's up to some beautiful people.
And we do it.
And we do it.
And we do it.
And we do it well.
And wild. Yeah, she said a lot. Trey, please don't be talking to us.
Wait, is this are we taking another shot? Because, all right.
Right.
Should I read?
You might have to.
Reading? Is somebody?
Also, it's a little late because, so.
All right.
His mouth has moved too many times, so we're gonna drink first, and then you can go ahead.
All right, we're gonna drink because I'm gonna drink, and here we go. Yep.
I'm gonna be dead in the morning.
Yeah.
That's wild. All right,
are we back?
Are we back? Are we back? Nope.
A little bit.
No, we back. Well,
yeah,
we back.
We never went anywhere.
Yeah, I know y'all didn't. I mean me.
But did you take a shot though?
Apparently, I went somewhere. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna take my shot.
Well, welcome back.
I mean, but so because
we live.
Yeah, so since it's not up there, I can kind of. I was gonna say I can kind of summarize, but
it's back,
and it's the part that like irritates me is I wish these teachers, school districts understood we are not in the 90s and 2000s anymore, as if to say first of all, like she could have went further back than that, but in order for a household to survive, even a 2-parent situation, we have to work and work hard and work many hours. We didn't even have the time to come home and support our children and doing homework because dinner needs to be cooked, cleaned up, spend time, bath, and get them ready for a good night's sleep. My kids wake up for school around 6. Bedtime preparation is 7. I don't get home from work until 5. So please enlighten me on how you want us parents to help with homework when we're all struggling to survive. So please do not take it out on my child. When her homework is not finished, I have a good 2 hours with my kids each day. I won't be spending it on homework about George Washington. I'll be spending this time loving them and teaching them other necessities in life. Miss me with the bushiggity.
She's bullshit.
She's bullshiggity. I need you to highlight
bullshit. That whole thing is bullshit.
Highlight Liz's last comment. Well, all of them probably, but start with the last one.
Let's work our way back.
Let's see. Liz said, and this is the same parent title who blames the schools for the failure of their child. That's right. Like, listen.
We were just talking about that. We just had somebody like that.
The teachers are not babysitters. Okay, they're not. But actually, y'all not even what they call them, the tutors. No, y'all there to teach, and they're there to learn, and then you're supposed to back up the teachers for. Would y'all back up the teachers? Like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Why y'all not reinforcing parents?
I'll tell you what, a parent called in the other day and was like, my child's not doing what they supposed to at home. What y'all gonna do about it? I'm sorry. What? What? So wait, is this before or after you beat them? Because I'm curious as to why you're calling us to fix a problem. Called and said I can't get my child to wake up and go to school. What y'all gonna do about it? You you mean like are we? Do you need us to call CPS because you're like beating them because they won't get out to bed? Like I'm confused as to what you want us to do from school at your house. But that is like they be dead ass when they call talking to us like that. And this is the kind of parent that makes a post like this. Like when everything is at your kid's fingertips. Like if you did not want to help them, introduce them to Google, take them back, have them to search for Ask Jeeves, because that's before we had Google. We asked Jeeves, and
We definitely asked Jeeves.
and Jeeves had all the
Definitely asked Jeeves.
Jeeves had all the answers, and now
Yeah,
Google
he
has all
did.
the answers, and Siri has all the answers. As much time as your child spends on the phone, tell them to just talk to Siri about their homework. You can find it anywhere. Like
Alexa, go ahead and ask Alexa. All of them got the answers now.
and
So.
they're going to tell you something. All right, but and Trey and I were talking about this earlier. Like there are way too many ways, because she just makes it seem like you can't hold a conversation with your child while you cook dinner. You can't like read them a bedtime story that lines up with a concept that they were working on in class. Like your day-to-day activities are opportunities for learning, and it's the things that I go through every day with K2. Like, if we're at a red light, how come the car stopped? Because the light is red. Well, what does red mean? Red means stop. If you see this sign, what is it? It's yellow. So what is it telling you to do? Watch out, look out. It means to slow down. We're going now. How come we're going? Because green means go. Like, count the number of red cars you see while we're at this light, and that gives them an opportunity to count, and hopefully they can get to double digits and beyond. Like there are way too many opportunities to incorporate learning and your own parent child relationship building at the same time. Like all education is not sit still at the table. You point to something in the book. If Johnny has 3 apples, if Johnny has 3 apples, it's not that. Like learning is everywhere. It's in everything we do. And it breaks up the monotony of classroom style learning. And like she's failing her child with that kind of attitude.
Mm.
And like, and not just in the school setting, she's failing her child in the family dynamic. She's failing her child in relationship building. Like it's just a lot of missed opportunities there.
It's not enough just to send your child to school. That's not enough. Like you got to be involved. You got to be involved, right? RJ with the BMI, even outside of school, right? RJ with the BMX bike riding, right? I, me just putting them in and just letting them go round and round, right? It's not going to be the same if I don't get in there like I was doing and say, RJ, okay, great. What did you learn? Okay, what did you do? What do you think you could do better to beat, to be faster, this, that, and third? RJ, listen, here's what you need to do. You need to, and I'm telling them, here's what you need to do. I'm saying, RJ, this is what you need to do. You need to look straight, focus on what's in front of you. Keep going. All right. If nothing else, keep going. All right. Keep those feet moving. Don't drift to the left, drift to the right. You need to go straight. I need to see I need to see 110%. Like, I need to see you go fast. I know you fast. Like, let's go. Like, that's me coaching them up. That's me being involved, not just bringing them to practice, dropping them and letting them go. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just drop them off at school. You need to be involved. You need to know what your kids' grades look like. You need to know, again, like I was saying, if you're really involved, you're going to have to learn what they are learning, because I promise you, it's not the same. It's not the same curriculum. It's not the same stuff that we were learning, or at least how they want you to show, how they want these kids to show their work now, right? It's not the same. And that's being involved. That's canceling going out to party, or going out to be young again, or that's canceling certain things so that you can be involved in your child's life. Period.
everybody shouldn't have kids.
That's also true.
You know what I'm saying? But and I think what's more disturbing about this post for me, what's more disturbing about the post is the 9,000 or so people that agreed with it. And then that's just the people that shared it, not just the people that, were on the comments going off, saying, you preach, sister, you go off. Look, man, actions have consequences. What have I been saying for the last couple of seasons, right? If you are at work all day and your wife is at work all day, who got the kids? Right? Okay, you got to work, so you got to pay bills. You got to need a 2-income household. It's rough out here. Everything is going up. Inflation, the mortgage rates have doubled in the last 3 years alone. Trump 2024. Just saying, right? Stuff like that. All right. So, yeah, I said it. Fight me. So, any of y'all in the comments, yeah, I said it. Fight me. Trump 2024. Fight me. Anyway, but you have kids. This is what you signed up for. This is the world that you asked for, right? This is the world that you asked for. Rich, you had mentioned earlier about women saying that they don't get approached like they once did. Well, that's because when you were getting approached, you said it was creepy and disgusting, and you didn't want that to happen no more. Now it's not happening, and we want it back. What? You got to make up your mind. Okay, look, you want to be able to go out and work and all this other kind of thing. That's fine, but there's consequences for that, right? Business owners see opportunities and they say, "Great, we're going to tax and charge double because it's a 2-income household." That's kind of what happens. You know what it is. It's been like this for a long time. You signed up for that. You had that baby. You had time for plan B. You had time to enact plan A, if you understand what I'm saying, right? You had time for that in whatever state you're in. So this was the choice that you made. You got to figure out a way to better maximize your time. You don't get home till 5 o'clock, then I don't know. Maybe you got to make the kids bedtime 8 o'clock instead of 7. I don't know. But you're gonna have to make an adjustment somewhere because this is what you signed up for. I'm sorry. I know it hurts. That sucks. I understand, but it's your kid. It's not the teacher's responsibility. Let me say this on behalf of all the teachers, right? It is not the school's responsibility to raise your damn kid. It's the school responsibility to teach your kid reading, writing, and how to math. Real math, not this pull string bullshit you people are doing. Right? That's what their charge is. Their charge is not to raise. They got your kid for 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week for real. Like realistically. 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half a day, four, maybe 5 days a week. Sure. Come on, man. It ain't the school job to raise your kids. You better get yourself involved in that. And I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, I don't have time. Get another job. Guess what? If it was me, that's what everybody would say. Guess you're going to have to get another job. Guess you're going to have to find another profession. Guess you're going to have to find another career. Guess you're going to have to find another way. So find another way, lady.
It's wild out here in these streets.
Just saying, ain't nobody having I got no sympathy for that, like at all. I get home, I'm tired. Yeah. That's what happens when you have kids. That's what happens when you're responsible for a whole person's life. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
People want titles and not responsibilities.
One more time.
People want titles and not responsibilities.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Want titles with no responsibilities, want money without having put in the effort. You want demand with no supply.
And too many people want to be friends with their kids. How
about that?
I saw something somewhere, and it said something to the effect of if you're a parent to your kid when they're young, you can be friends with them when they're adults. If you're a friend to them when they're young, then you'll have to parent them as adults.
Yep. And make no mistake about it, I love my kids, but we ain't friends.
We are not friends. I laugh and
Right?
joke with you. I'm not your friend.
All day long.
I'm
All
not
day
your friend,
long. And we can talk about anything.
but I'm not your
But
friend.
but no, we not friends. I'm your father. I have a different responsibility.
Yeah.
You know? You don't like how I said this, don't then you tell your friends you don't like how they talk to you. You know? I have a responsibility to make sure that you're not one of these pieces of trash out here disrupting the learning experience when you go to school. As my wife so eloquently points out. If kids acted better in school, more learning and reinforcing that learning would get done during the day and probably lessening the need for the abundance of homework. How about that?
And
How about
that's,
that?
and that's why it's so important to work on those things outside of the school hours, because and even if there weren't interruptions, there's still 30 kids in every class vying for one person's attention. So the attention you can give to one, 2, 3 children in your house is still less than the one teacher can give to 30 kids in the class, and because that's 30 relationships that you have to form, 30 levels of awareness of kids with IEPs and 504s with special needs and non-English speakers and all that. All of those things aren't variables in your house. That's your personnel, and you've known them from the jump. So there's more that you can do in less time. The number of homeschool people I know, they're not spending 6.5 hours working with their kids because it's just them. So what takes a full school day, because of the classroom sizes and just the way things are, doesn't look like that when it's just y'all at home.
Facts. And that's why your kids are your responsibility, man. Take responsibility for your kids. Stop making excuses. Stop bitching and moaning on the internet. Going up here looking for sympathy. That's all this is, man. Get out of here, yo. Like go get if your kids got homework to do, what better example are you setting for them than with all the work you gotta go do that you still taking the time to help them out? Right? That's the example that you're setting. But if you're too tired, you say, it's okay, baby. You don't have to do homework. You don't have to learn history. Let's watch a movie. Let's eat ice cream. Let's gossip. Let's scroll on the internet. Let's do a TikTok. That's definitely more being your kid's friend, in my opinion. That's definitely more trying to be your kid's friend than being their parent.
Let's do a TikTok.
Yeah, let's do a TikTok. What? And your kid's failing. Whose kid? Yeah, your kid. So many kids out here failing.
We just had a meeting for kids who would need summer school, and it looked like the club let out. Like it's so disheartening that you could spend 10 months of the year in school and like just be comfortable giving up your entire summer to go back to school while all your friends are finding jobs, are poolside chilling, are traveling with their families. You got to go to summer school.
And the very idea, the very conundrum of the word summer and school being next to each other never set well with me from day one. Once I had the ability to learn that there was a such thing as a school and a such thing as a summer, not a gender, but a season, right? Once I found out that there was also a such thing as a summer and that no school took place during the summertime, the concept of summer school never made sense to me. So how is it we have so many people, like you said, that seem to just be okay with and comfortable with going to summer school? I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the parents have not set a standard that, okay, you go to summer school, it's gonna be the worst summer of your life. It was very clear to me that if I had to go to school in the summertime, oh, it's gonna be the worst possible summer I could imagine. But now y'all out here, y'all buying your kids clothes, y'all taking them on shopping sprees, taking them to theme parks and stuff like that, taking them on trips because you want to go. And then we just get on the internet and complain that you don't get home till 5 o'clock. And you have to put them to bed at 7 o'clock. A grade school age kid, you have to start getting them ready for bed at 7 o'clock. Miss me with that BS. Anyway.
Now, I'm just giving a heads up so we don't have to take a shot. My kid's going to call to say goodnight, so I'm finna mute myself so that I can, do the things.
All right, say no more. I'm going to go ahead and get to this next one. Fair or foul on the way out the door. Let's do it.
Provision is not money. Provision is infrastructure. If a man has the ability, the mind, the mental sharpness, and the fortitude to come into your life and provide real infrastructure, then he is a provider. There are seasons in a person's life where they 50 might not look like half the bills, but if he shows up in other ways to supplement and make it make sense, you got to understand that. And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not sending this as a shot to discourage you, sending it as a shot to wake up. If the only thing you know of provision is a paycheck, then you know nothing of it. If that's what you think a man being a provider is, you have no clue what a real provider is supposed to do. That's why so many kept women are lonely. Provision is not money. Provision is infrastructure. If a man has the ability...
Provision is not money. Provision is infrastructure. I wanted to end on that last little bit right there. Provision is not money. Provision is infrastructure, the creation of the ability to do whatever it is that you want to do. Fair or foul, fellas? What do y'all think?
That's fair. That's fair. I think a lot of times. Oh, thank you. I have a cat that likes to just do all types of things. All right, power went out. Anyway, you can still see me. I think it's fair. It's because he talked about infrastructure. He talked about the ability to have those other things, because provision doesn't just mean monetary. Being able to hold down the house. Even though you're not the breadwinner, being able to bring those other characteristics to the table, so to speak, right? That is provision. So I think, like I said, it's fair, super fair.
Jump in, kid.
What happened?
You gonna say what happened? What are your thoughts? That fair? That you think that's fair or foul? That provision is not limited to financial.
Oh, for sure. Oh, this my other joint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no. So
he was saying night to the kid, y'all. I see him backstage, doing his dad thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So all right. So I want to read off a couple of definitions for you all, because and to quote Trey, the great and terrible, words mean things. So provision is the action of providing or supplying something for use. Okay. All right. So if I'm supplying something for use, that can be anything. All right. We can use knowledge. We can use experience. We can use tangible things that are not financial. We can use a shoulder to cry on. We can use an ear to, hear about our day. We could use sound advice to help us move forward. Like those are all some things we can use. Let's see, the verb supply with food, drink, or equipment, especially for a journey. So if a partner is providing provision and we're taking a proverbial journey, Like there are things along the way that will change based on the circumstances. People are a little dumb now because they never had to play the Oregon Trail. And if you played the Oregon Trail growing up, you knew, that, I mean, eventually everyone was going to die of scurvy, but before you did, like there were things that you had to do along the Oregon Trail. You had to hunt and shoot a squirrel or a deer, and like even if you had a good hunting experience, you couldn't take all of the food with you because it was too much to have on there. So somebody had to say, hey, listen, I know like we've got a lot of this going on, but that was too much. Like that's wisdom. So provision like exists in all kinds of places. Again, because provision is providing. So if people are just thinking that starts and ends with financially, then you're approaching this all wrong. And especially when the only thing that affects your relationship is finances. I think of when you take your wedding vows and say for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health. And even if you don't take everything literally, it's still about the ebbs and flows of life, the ups and downs, the hills and the valleys, because all of those things will exist. Everything is all sweet until you get a cancer diagnosis. So now that your partner has been diagnosed with cancer, you're going to leave them because they're not in the picture perfect health that they were when y'all got together? No, that makes you a selfish person. So like there's got to be more to it than just how much money do you have right now? How much will you have later? How much are you going to spend on me? How much will you pay for every little thing that I need? Like, yeah, it's totally fair that, and we've got to see provision as something bigger than just a green or greenish blue dollar bill now.
Right. Yeah, money comes and goes, man. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, we'll take, since I mentioned Donald Trump earlier, right? So I mean, he's the man. That's a man that's been, filed bankruptcy. I don't know what 5-6 times, something like that, right? So for all intents and purposes, he made it and then he lost it. Then he made it again. Then he lost it. Then he made it again. Then he lost it. Right? Like it happens like that, right? So. I've been in a situation, I've been at a job where, I was making $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 a year. And all of a sudden the next year, the company didn't have so great of a year and it was half that. You know what I'm saying? Like just the following year, just like that. Sometimes it's like that. When you're going to be engaged in a relationship with somebody, you're going to be engaged, for marriage with somebody, you have to be able to take those things into consideration and look beyond that. Like, yeah, if every day was as good and as happy as your wedding day and your honeymoon, then nobody would ever get divorced. But that's just not always that's not how it works, right? Life is going to happen. That's why you make the proposal to this person to do this life thing with you for the rest of your life. And they say, yes, I will do this life thing with you for the rest of my life, for the rest of our life, right? That's how it goes. So that being said, yes, provision absolutely goes beyond the financial part. Again, money comes and goes, right? You could be up one year, she could be up one year. I mean, all kind of stuff could happen, right? But what I know is that even if you have money, if you don't know what to do with it, if you're not a good steward over it, what I do know is it's eventually going to go away. You're eventually going to have problems. You're inevitably going to have problems. So still, just because you have money doesn't necessarily mean you understand making provisions. It just means you can afford to buy some things, right? And so I think men and women need to get off of it's all about the money part. Yeah, I mean yes, is money a big part of it? Absolutely. The more money you have, the more things you can do. But also more money, different problems. I'm not gonna say more. I'm not gonna say more money, more problems. That ain't necessarily true.
No diddy.
Yeah, no diddy. And it's not necessarily true because it's not that they have more problems. They just have different problems. They have completely different problems. A person that has $10 million in the bank has a completely different set of problems from the guy that only got $10 in the bank. You know what I'm saying? It's just a completely different set of problems. So money don't necessarily solve all your problems, and it certainly isn't necessarily the key to a successful marriage. Wealthy people get divorced all the time.
All the time. And one of the other things I think about is, roles could easily reverse. At a point, the man can be making more than the woman, and then at a point, depending on what you do, the woman could be making more than the man. So, all of a sudden, now that you make more than him, does that make him less of a man because you make more money? Like, what was different about him yesterday when he was making more money than you that makes him terrible now because you make more money than him? There's a lot of ego tied, into like financial situations like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, men can be guilty of it too. Especially, we see scenarios where, if a man is paying all a woman's bills, he may feel like, I can tell you, what to do, when to do it, that kind of thing. And that's dictatorship. That's not relationship. And that's not to say, he's not looking for you to be responsible. But if it's just, because I'm paying every bill, you should go now, don't go, like that kind of thing. But there's just, it's a lot of ego in this. And if people can't set that aside, they're going to find themselves in the situation that he described. He said there are a lot of kept women who are still lonely.
And how about that? People have to understand that, man. We'll get into it next season, man. Y'all join us for the ride. We're gonna get into more of this stuff next season. We already have some things planned as soon as we come back through. We're gonna start to dive deep into some of these psychological things, because honestly, you'd be surprised, if you just kind of peeled back some layers, you'd be surprised how simple of a fix a lot of these things are. You'd be surprised how many people get married that really just have no business getting married. And I'm not even saying like you can look at them and tell, okay, y'all had no business getting married or anything like that. But I mean, like, just the way they interact, the way that they deal with each other, the way that they deal with their kids and so on. We had no business doing this in the first place. We trauma bonded, and here we are, right? We're going to get into that. Not tonight, though. We don't have time to get into that tonight. We are done for the evening, however. So, hey, shout out to all of y'all, man. We appreciate y'all, as always, and hanging in there with us, man. We're trying to do a little bit better on the time. We're not going to keep y'all up till midnight like we have before. We're not doing that no more, all right? But good show, good season. Looking forward to talking with y'all some more. Kev, take us out, brother.
That Famule did exactly what I thought it was going to do. So I'm finna go to bed. But appreciate y'all. And in the words of Justin Timberlake, it's going to be May. So happy May. We still in Taurus season. So big Taurus gang. Shout out to my brother Will's birthday is coming up on Wednesday. Shout out to my sister Lisa's birthday right after that. We real deep out here. It's my friend Ashley's birthday today. Shout out to her. Taurus, we real heavy in the gang. So, make sure y'all take care of yourselves, take care of your families. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay. We look forward to seeing y'all next season, and y'all got plenty of time to tell a friend to hit that like button, subscribe, all the things. Have another drink, because tomorrow's Saturday. The hell? All right. Peace.
Happy May. First of all, shout out to Spring 04, 20 years in the game. Woo! And shout out to all the May birthdays, because I know it's a lot of y'all. And one of the big messages that has been on my mind, and actually I've been given, the message I've been giving to RJ, I'm gonna share with y'all. It's keep going. The path is it's going to be hard. The journey is going to be hard, but you need to just go straight and focus on just going forward. Like keep going, finish strong. I was telling RJ out there on the track, like, you got to finish strong. Like, just keep going. You finish strong, go straight. And what happens is you lose momentum when you start to veer off left and veer off right. Just go straight. Like, take the track and you just go like zero in. I know they put the blinders on the horses. Like, if that's what you got to do it. Whatever you got to do, you do that, because life is short, man, and we're only here for a flicker. So you better do it now. Do it, and do it to the best of your ability. We love y'all, man. Thank y'all for a great season, for joining us on this great season. We look forward to more. Tell a friend, like, subscribe, share, and we will see you next time. Peace.
What's the difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. What do? They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it till the job gets done. Take that however you want it at this time of night with however many drinks you've had. And take that however you want it too. Yes, take that however you want it too. Thanks again, man, on another fantastic season, another great episode. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Best thing, the best part of everything that we do here. While we out, man, I'm just going to tell y'all, like I always say, keep your head on the swivel. Stay skeptical. Question the narrative. Don't believe none of what you hear. Don't believe but half of what you see. It's all crazy out here. It's all like a psyop almost. It's real wild. But listen, man, but take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. That's why we're here. We're here to advance ourselves and advance society and, advance the human race, to be honest, as we go forward into the 2030s and 40s and 50s and so on, right? So let's go out here, man. Let's have some fun and let's just keep on doing it. Keep on fighting. Keep on staying prayed up. Keep on doing what you got to do, man. Keep on continuing. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Don't ever quit. That is it. We out, man. We done. Thanks again one more time for all of you for joining us, man. Y'all are awesome. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We out of here, man. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Already know God of Therapy next time. Woo!